Okay. So the audio seems to work. That's good. Sorry for these technical issues. Basically, the issue was that when I was recording, I used multiple audio tracks, which, well, doesn't work for streaming, I suppose. Not gonna lie, without Grazi, I wouldn't have found it in like ages, because I wouldn't even have an idea how to search wedge search for the issue. So yeah. Anyways, the idea for today is that we're going to create a custom item, and I basically asked for ideas a couple days ago in my Discord what items I should create in the stream. And one of my moderators, Argan, had like, I don't know, 30 ideas or something. And one of it was creating a gun, and this is what we're going to do today. But just as a question again, can you guys all hear me now? Is the audio okay? Does everything work now? Because yeah, I really wanted to work now. Okay, perfect. Okay, so to start off making a custom item, you want to basically pick a base item. What kind of item this is totally defined by the features you're using. So, for example, let's say I want a timber mod axe, then I'd use an axe as a base item. This is because if I quickly add scoreboards here, for example, item trigger, you have many different objectives here. For example, food, which counts how much hunger you have, health, which counts your health bar, and for all different items, you got a used scoreboard. And this is basically always what you think it is. For an axe, it's for example cutting a tree. For a pickaxe, it's breaking a block. And for a sword, it's hitting something. But what you really want to do is, most of the time, is picking one of these two items. Carrot on a stick and warp fungus on a stick. Because what's special about these is, I suppose Mojang simply didn't have an idea what to add for them. So they simply set the use scoreboard to right click. So whenever you create a right clickable item, it's either one of these two. And yeah, we are going to create a simple gun with one of these two today. I think I'm gonna use the warp fungus because it's the carrot on the stick attracts pigs, and we don't want that. We don't want that. Go away. And oh, hey Abbott, nice to see you here. Yeah, I had some technical issues with the audio of the stream because apparently it doesn't work like it does for videos. But now everything seems alright, so yeah, I can start with my first stream. I'm really nervous, I got to say. I have actually... Yeah, I've actually spent the last 45 minutes fixing this issue, and it was kind of scary because I really didn't know where to search for it. Yeah, I know now. I know now. It needs to be on track one. Okay. So let me quickly set this up. First off, I set up VS Code here. Show you the yeah, like this. Okay, we are currently here in our main function. And first off, we need to add a scoreboard. So scoreboard, objectives, add gun trigger. And it's minecraft.used minecraft.carrot on a stick. Just quickly checking if that's correct. Oh, no. Wait, we wanted to use warp fungus on a stick. Yeah, it's finally working. Nice to see you here, Grazi. It was, thank you for the help, by the way. It was basically what you told me. It was, I had multiple audio tracks enabled, and that was the issue. And I don't know, I didn't find it at first. Okay, we have our gun trigger scoreboard here. And what I usually do in my main functions is I have only not much code here, let's say. I use the main function purely as a linking function. So usually what I do is I have a setup function. I'm just gonna call it community setup. Then I have an item function, which I call as each player. As at A, we call the community items function. And normally I have an entities function as well, but we're not going to add an entity in this the stream, so it's pretty much obsolete. But what we need is a reset function for all our scoreboards. Oh, yeah, that happens quite often to me, that I just do run and then the function name, because that's basically how you would do it in the normal coding language. Community reset. And we can add all these functions. Reset.mc function. And items.mc function. In our reset, we're just going to reset the scoreboard. But wait, actually, since this is a little bit educational here, let me show you how it looks like when you have the scoreboard. So I'll type in quickly reload. Scoreboard objectives, set display sidebar, gun trigger. And if I right click now, you see the scoreboard on the sidebar increments. This is what we want. Basically, I'm pressing right click right now. So each time I press right click, it increments by 1. Yeah. I mean, I also use multiple audio channels to be able to modify my voice and like the game sound individually, but I never really use it. And most of my videos nowadays are like scripted, so I record the gameplay and the audio individually, so I don't really need it anyway. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So what we want to do now is we reset our gun scoreboard. Set as gun trigger 0. The reason why we're doing that is we're actually not wanna count how many times we wait. Function community setup. I must something up here, right? Oh yeah, I don't have the setup function yet. Anyways, we don't need it now. Give me a second. Normally, if a function of you doesn't work, you can check. For example, now the main function isn't there, so that usually means there's a mistake in it. This is really not a great way to detect errors, but it's pretty much the only way we got for data packs, so that's a bit unfortunate. But yeah. Okay. Now it should work. Yeah, okay. So we have our gun trigger scoreboard now. If we click, you see, you can kind of see it goes to 1, but it instantly resets. This is because we kind of want to use it as an event. Whenever we click, it shall do something. And yeah. Yeah, there should be a debugger. Yeah. There sadly isn't any. I'll show you VS Code again. So we have our item function here, and this is executed by all players. So we execute as at s because each player is going to run this function. So as ourselves, we execute if the score of gun trigger is 1. Whoops. This actually means at least 1, but you can actually go with 1, but it doesn't really matter here, but I always go with at least. And now we are going to, well, actually, if we want the gun to be unique, like we don't want every warp fungus on a stick to execute our stuff, right? So we can go with MBT. If the selected item has a specific tag, like for example, community gun, then rerun the gun function. Function community items dash gun. Can you something's off with my code recommendation. Normally it should recommend me that it can create this file here, but whatever. Items gun.amc function. All right. And we're just typing in say hi here. That's what I always do to test if something works. And if we reload that now, it shouldn't work with this warp fungus on a stick. Wait, it shouldn't work with this warp fungus on a stick. So it resets the score, but it doesn't actually say hi or something. So we need to give ourselves a warp fungus on a stick, which has the defined tag on it, which I just gave it. So that was community gun. And this, as you can see, executes the say hi command. And now you have a unique item, because this item here, this is unobtainable. I mean, you can only obtain it by a command, and this value here, it's obviously not used in the game. We could also give it a custom name, but this is also this is just for later customization. It doesn't really matter for the functionality of the item. So basically we want to raycast now. No, I'm not making a master sword. That's just to indicate we're going to create a custom item. I have no idea why, but we just collectively use hi. Yeah, it's really like that. Yeah. This is like magic to me. Honestly, it's not that hard. I mean, making commands in Minecraft, I don't know. It's simply using the commands you're using to create your Breath of the Wild map, but like chained together. And the only real complicated part maybe is executing the right entity and at the right position. But you quickly get into this thinking. So what we want to do is, if we click, we want to raycast. Raycast basically means we from our rotation we cast a ray to whatever it hits. For example, it might be this sheep here. There are many different ways to do this. For example, we could summon an armor stand and now give me a command block, for example. This will totally mess with my world because I'm sure I have like 1,000 armor stands here, but whatever. Execute as at E, type equals armor stand. So as each armor stand at its position, we run TP at S, one forward. And to not mess with every armor stand here, we could say distance equals 50. So each armor stand in a distance of 50 teleports itself one block forward. This basically means one block forward in the view direction. And repeat, always active. And yeah, basically armor stands now follow a certain path. Later, if you really want to make a projectile, you can make it invisible or give it some particles or something. You can even use a custom model. Armor stands are basically the go-to way to add any custom models in the world. So this is definitely a good way to do it. But for something like a gun, I like to have something that shoots the ray instant. Like, for example, if I place this armor stand here, you see it takes a while until it reaches something. That's not really a gun projectile. That's more like, I don't know, it could be an arrow or something. So there is a really cool technique we can use here. Magic armor stands. Those are magic armor stands. Those definitely are. So the technique we can use here is called recursion. Basically, recursion means you're calling the function itself, and this might be magic for Avid because Avid does not use data packs. He only uses command blocks, as I know. But it's really powerful. Basically, we execute positioned one block forward, and we're running the same function again. Run function community gun. And if you would run it like this, you'd already have an infinite loop. So you definitely need a condition under which this doesn't execute. You can, for example, say as long if block at this position is air. In that case, if the block is ever not air, it won't execute this function, and the whole loop will basically stop. And for example, we could, to visualize this, set block stone. Now let's. Oh, I basically forgot to show VS Code here, right? Whoops. Yeah. I definitely need to get into this whole streaming thing, and I've never actually done this. But yeah, what I did here is basically I execute positioned one block forward, and if the block there is error, it runs the function, the same function again. And what we do each iteration is we set block stone. So if I run this now, I have something. Yeah, there's something off. Wait. Another great way to check if a command is working is putting it in here, because usually Minecraft will syntax highlight whenever you have an error in your function. This seems good. The other command was set block. Oh yeah. Oops. Yeah, I'm kind of nervous, so these errors happen, I guess. I forgot the coordinates there. So, now it should work. Still doesn't. Community, items, gun. Do we still have the right? Wanted to warn you about that. Yeah, too late, I guess. I did reload, right? Yeah, the function works. It's simply the execution of it, I guess. Community gun, items, gun trigger, selected items. Gun trigger. It should just place a stone block. Execute position, one block forward. Did I not? Oh. Yeah. Thing is, we executed as the player, but not at its position, which is really important. If you forget that, it places the stone block. It probably did execute the function the entire time, but not at our positions, so we couldn't really see it. So, it places stone blocks now. Yeah, classic error, definitely. I wonder though, there's still something off. If block error, it runs the function. Huh. Okay, what's off here? Execute position one block forward. If block is error, then you run the function community gun. As its items gun. Oh god. Yeah. I do a lot of errors right now. I'm so sorry. yeah, this is basically what I wanted to show you. It pretty much does create a line of blocks now. Cast it from our feet currently. You can change that to be the eyes, but for some things, the feet are actually the right choice. But if we want to have it from our eyes, then we would do here add s anchored eyes, run the function, and now it's basically anchored from our eyes, and my whole world looks very messy now. And I'll probably never be able to fix that. Or too lazy. Whatever. Okay. But we don't want to place stone blocks, so let's get rid of all of these. I'm still in the VS Code scene. Okay. So what I just showed you is we can now cast it from our eye position. It's nothing special, basically. And somehow my word's a bit laggy, I guess. What we want to do is, first off, we visualize it with some particles. I like to use the dust particle because it's a particle which has RGB colors. And you can basically give it any color you like. For example, this would mean it's pretty much white. But we can make it, for example, this should be purple. And we don't want the particle to spread, and we only use one particle at a time right now. So what we have now is something that looks like this. That's already something that's able to shoot. Yeah, it's no problem, Grazi. Yeah, I mean, still, Everett, I think you should definitely give data packs a try. I mean, sticking to command blocks is maybe fun, but honestly, there are so many things you can do with data packs. You should really give them a try. By the way, I just noticed that I flew across here. This is how I did the intro for my Paul gun video. Basically, it's literally a green screen in Minecraft for some particles. Yeah. Also, if anyone's interested about the world here, it's basically all set in a custom dimension. So those here are actually normal leaf blocks. Those are not custom blocks or something. It's just a custom biome in a custom dimension, which is pretty helpful for like developing a bunch of data packs, because I can, for example, for the BOTV data pack, BOTW, I always say BOTV because that's how the name is called in German. For this data pack, we basically created all the custom structures in a custom dimension, and we are able to place all the loot tables and enemy spawns there without them triggering, because they are not in the overworld, and we can set them to behave differently if they are in a custom dimension, which is great for like modifying these structures. Here I have pretty much a room with some data pack stuff I have done. Normally this would rotate and stuff, but I basically deleted all the data packs to basically to keep you away from spoilers, because I have some uncompleted data packs in this world, and if I just type in function here, you would get spoiled, and I don't want that. Yeah, and I have basically an overworld portal here. An entire world of magic. Exactly, Grazi. Yeah. Also, the great thing is I can reset this overworld here. I can simply delete the overworld and it will basically regenerate all the structures here. Because you see, I still have the BOTV structures here. I have the stable over there. This is actually where I filmed the Breath of the Wild video. The last one. And I think over there is where I filmed the portal gun videos. So I'm actually using this world right now for, like, pretty much all my videos. Yeah, anyways, let's get back to our guns. We still got something to do. Because it does look cool and all, but we still don't have a way to damage mobs. And now we come across another issue in Minecraft, because there's not really a good way to deal damage to mobs in Minecraft with commands. The only solution you have is by literally using the damage effect. But the dumb thing about the damage effect is that you basically can only do damage in steps of 3 hearts. I think it is 3 hearts. Effect, give, add as, instant damage. Yeah, it's 3 hearts. So, this sucks. I still hope Mojang adds a damage command, but we can work with that, I suppose. Also, you might want to write a dedicated damage function in case you wanna hurt a zombie, for example, because these mobs actually are healed by the damage command and hurt by health effects, which makes it even more annoying. But yeah, that's pretty much the only solution we got, I suppose. Anyways, if we just do effect, give, add E, and now there are different solutions to select the entity you want, actually. You can use a distance selector. Distance selector suck for several reasons, because basically wait, let me show you that again. A distance selector always selects from the feet of the entity. So if I say distance 5, for example, and I'm above the mob, it will maybe not detect it, but if I'm below it, it will. There are better selectors. There is something called DX, DY, and DZ, which basically goes after the hitbox of the enemy. I'm not sure which button there was. Does anyone know which the button was for showing the hitboxes of entities? Do I have to write English to get noticed? No, you don't. But anyways. F3 plus B. Oh, yeah. I guess my shader hides them. Yeah. Basically, the DX, DY, and DZ selector those use the hitboxes of an entity. Oops. Though you need to position yourself correctly, because if you're like wait, let me. So here's the positive x-axis, this the positive z-axis. Then I need to position myself here, I guess. Yes. Yeah, no. Yeah, you see, it's kind of more complicated, but it also works more accurately for any projectiles you want to make. I can, yeah. I can deal more damage if I send more than one projectile. But dealing more damage isn't the problem. The problem is that I can only deal 3 basically damage in steps of 3 hearts. No, in conclusion, there isn't really a good way to damage entities. The only way are the effects. And these are the ones which we're going to use. So, it would be best to write a damage function for that. So, normally I have, for example, a miscellaneous folder here. Damage.mc function. And now, let me actually get some block lists. I'll quickly explain what that means in a second. Yeah, I know the absorption method, but I don't like that it's kind of visible, if you know what I mean. That you kind of see that he had more hearts for a second. It's kind of a quirky way, but yeah. Yeah. I think Bedrock Edition got a damage command. I think I heard something about that, but I'm not really sure because I didn't check, because honestly I don't care about Bedrock Edition. New folder, tags. Then we have a folder with blocks and a folder with entity types. That was a file. Great. Entity types. And the reason I'm doing this is because I have a list with basically monsters. And now in the damage function, I can literally just do effect give add s, which is of type community undead, which is not of type community undead, simply instant health, and for the other mobs, I can give them instant damage. This is simply so you have a few lines less. And the other folder I implemented here is for block lists. So currently, our projectile flies through the air, but it would stop at like a simple flower or something. We don't want that. We want that it goes through almost all blocks which are non-solid. Like, for example, a ladder is also non-solid. See, you don't want that the projectile stops here, because you clearly shot like away from the ladder. So we have a list with water and lava too. Water and lava, I mean, it depends. It really depends on what you want to do, right? If you make a simple gun, it might not make sense that it behaves like exactly the same in water as it does in lava. But I do have water in my non-solid block list. You see, this is probably not complete list of all the blocks in Minecraft which are non-solid. And we can use this instead of air in our function here. Community non-solid. And now we can shoot through all these things. Yeah. Let me show you the block list again because I noticed I didn't do it. Here. Those are probably not complete, but this is the current block list I use for non-solid blocks. Alright. We're not using effect, we're using execute as at E. dx equals 1, dz equals 1. I'm not an expert in like dx, dz and stuff. I know basically how it works. I know the logic behind them, but I've rarely used them. I only started using them with the Breath of the Wild data pack, so it's all quite new for me. But I think it should work like this. Run function community item. No, it's Sildurs damage. I think it should work like this. Also, we might not want to use like a purple dust effect for a gun. That doesn't make sense. Maybe we might want to use a smoke particle or something. Also, we might. I'm thinking. Let me do a function gun iterate. We put all this code here. And from here we call function community gun items dash gun iter. And we play a sound here. The reason I'm doing this, where I defined a separate function here, is because I could very well do the checking here again, but I mean, wouldn't really make much sense. But I want to play a sound once, exactly when I click the item. And now I need to check. I think it's... The sound I want to use is probably play sound, Minecraft, entity, generic, explode, and then this basically only means where the sound is coming from. It does only matter for the settings, really, like for the sound settings of the user. We just say the sound is coming from a player. We play it at a normal volume and maybe with a little pitch. This is how it sounds now. And I think I like that. I think I like that. Still calling the right function here. And of course we need to define this here too. dx, dz, misc damage. So if there are no errors in here, that should work. Oh, no. Yeah. Many particles have a time value, basically. And if you don't set them to 0, they will, for example, do something like this. What we want to do is... Oh, I didn't show it again, right? I didn't show it again. Anyways, I'll learn that in the future, trust me. I'm pretty certain I will. At some point, I will learn that. Oh yeah, for all the new viewers, basically I just want to make a gun. A simple gun. So now it's already looking pretty good, but it doesn't really damage the entity yet. Okay. S at E and the X, D, Z, D, Y. As mentioned, I didn't really use the X and stuff often. No, that doesn't work yet. Does the damage function work? That does seem to work. Yeah, I getting the damage effect, I guess? No, that seems to be that actually seems to be instant health. Yeah, that actually makes a lot of sense. So let me change that here. Of course, if it's undead, it should get instant health, and if it's not undead, instant damage. Classic. Oh. That's also a classic arrow. It does work now. You see, I can pretty much do this, but I'll die. Yeah, okay. So our iterate function does exactly what it should do. Basically what I told it to do. But of course, we need to prevent that we will die, and we can do that pretty easily. Yeah, you can, and in theory, you can just do this effect thingy here in the iterate function. It doesn't really matter, but whatever. To exclude us from the gun, we simply add a tag it as gun exclude, for example. And we say here that we don't want a player who has the tag gun exclude. And then we remove the tag again. So what this is doing is basically each time someone fires, it will give us the tag, exclude us from the damage function, and remove our tag again. And since this is running player after player, you can even damage another player, because you will only have this tag for like, what, I don't know, a pretty short time, of course. So this basically means we should now be, if we reload this, we should be unaffected, yeah. Another thing I noticed when I just shot the gun is that it doesn't really stop on the actual entity. Like, you can shoot through two entities like this. This is not a behavior we usually want, because it would be way too OP. I mean, you can definitely do that if you like that, but what we want to do is we want it to stop. There are different ways we can implement that. Oh, I didn't show it again. Jesus Christ. Okay. Yeah, what I just showed is you can shoot through multiple entities at once, which you don't really want. Anyways, to prevent that, yeah, it's really nice to see the code, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not used to doing that to doing streams. So yeah, as mentioned, I'll learn that. So how are we actually going to do that? We can, of course, add another check. And I think we're going to do exactly that. Yeah. Oh no, wait. We can do it easier. Execute unless. So we just took the above statement and said unless that's the case, we iterate further. All right, well, froze here. All right. We need multiple entities again. Did I forget to reload? Oh, something is really off. Successful Minecraft gun. Yeah. Successful Minecraft gun. Unless entity at E equals. Is the function still there? That's the number one question you always need to ask yourself. No, the function is gone, so there is a syntax error somewhere. It's exactly here, unless you want an entity here. Unless entity at E. Is the function now there? Function is there. So we can't iterate like that. Unless, okay, so execute unless there is an entity in this range that doesn't have the tag gun exclude. So unless there is an entity in this range which is not the player, we run the function positioned one block forward. This part here works, so we don't really need to check it. Something is off here. Huh. Execute unless entity at E. That's weird. Don't see it right now. There's one particle here, you see? Which is pretty much obvious because we don't do the iterations, so let's just say execute. Do it in a different way. Execute if an entity is here. We run tag add gun stop. Actually, let me split this here so it looks a bit more structured. As tag is not gun stop, and we remove tag as remove gun stop. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's sarcastic, but it's, as mentioned, it's not hard, Grazi. Huh. I mean, I'm not really surprised that the other method didn't work because we're pretty much doing the same here, but I'm still surprised that it doesn't work in general. I seem to have an error in here. Oops. Like that, it still works. Without the code checking if there's an entity in the range. So there may be another entity in my range. Because as mentioned, I'm in a data pack world here. I might have, I don't know, an entity teleporting to me or something. Execute as at e distance equals 3, run, say hi. There's a chicken here. But no, only me. Anyways, this works. Also, you probably don't want to have like an infinite shooting gun like this. Because in that case, you see, it's really OP. You can just pretty much click any entity dead. And from any range. Like, for example, these commands execute so fast, I can even kill this horse over there. Without a problem. Still, I'd like to... What we can do, actually, to check what the issue is, I mean, if that doesn't execute, it means that there is an entity, right? So we can just say as at e in this range, say hi. And it's me. Oh god. Oh no. I always hate it when I find these errors. I mean, I like it to find the error, but I always feel so dumb because the issue is, of course, we removed the gun exclude tag here. And like we're checking here for an entity which doesn't have the tag, and this is me. So yeah, I like these errors. Anyways, Do it like this, and it might work. Yeah. Okay. Good. Now we don't have this error anymore. Jeez. Okay. We got a simple gun mechanic. You could add ammunition now. You could also add a custom model. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't sure either, but actually, it should exclude myself. I mean, this is basically the statement I wrote there, right? But I totally forgot. I totally forgot that I removed the tag earlier, so this was basically the main issue. Yeah, but now it does work. Now... Oh, we're already streaming an hour. Jeez. I haven't actually done much in this hour, not gonna lie. We only have like a really, really simple gun model. Anyways, really, really simple gun mechanic. Anyways, we could do a model now. I'm just gonna do a very simple model because modeling usually takes a ton of time. But I don't know. Let's just make a... Yeah, but I did magic once already. Lilacs. I did already magic once, and I want to create like simply a gun in this video. So let me open up Blockbench. This is basically where I model all my stuff for the data packs. And I'm pretty certain pretty much every data packer does, because it's literally the best program for it. We're just gonna do something very simple here. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Usually what you need to think about when you model something is think about what is your smallest unit in the model. Because later, if you apply pixels to it, and it doesn't actually... It's not dividable by your smallest unit. The pixels are stretched or something. So you could go with like 1 as 1 unit. But 1 is still quite big because you don't have that much space here. You see, I can't go higher than that. That's already the limit. So you probably want to go with something smaller. I think I'm gonna go with 0.5 here. That sounds pretty much good. All right. Let's start off by doing a simple ammunition chamber. Pretty much a Western style gun or something. Can you add auto fire on right click for a automatic weapon? You can, definitely. But what might be a problem if you do this exactly the way I've shown here is that carrots on a stick, the right click event in Minecraft doesn't trigger 20 times a second. It does only trigger like 4 times a second. So you need to come up with a weird scoreboard way. I can write you a simple function for that in the Discord later. But yeah, you definitely need to do something for it, yeah. All right, select that as an ammunition chamber. Modeling is basically a pretty fun job, but depending on what you do, it can also be a pain, and you kind of want to stay true to Minecraft's roots. I feel like there are tons of models out there which just look, I mean, they look good, but at the same time, you can clearly see it's a mod, and you usually don't want that, I feel like. Oops. Ah, okay. Also, rotating like this often causes issues. Not gonna lie. What I kind of want here is, oh, 2.5 is actually fine. Like this. Yeah, there's some space here in between. I don't really like that, but guess it's fine. I guess it's fine. I think something like that. And a block here. Hmm. Yeah, maybe make this ammunition chamber a bit bigger. Oh, yeah. Maybe. Doesn't look too bad, I feel like. But that doesn't look too great. Four at four. Okay, I messed up. Actually don't want it to be, we always want it to be dividable by 0.5 because we later apply pixels to it and we need a consistent size for that. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, the stream now works. Yeah, Cloud Wolf has definitely done some pretty good videos. Um, in general, I'd recommend him for all kinds of tutorials. Also learned how to do custom dimensions and stuff with Cloud Wolf's videos, so it's really helpful. Wait, how long is this? 1.1, that's not good. Also, that's 0.3. Oh god, all sizes are messed up. Like this, like this. And now we're simply gonna... Yeah, I mean, I told you I'm gonna make a simple model. I think that's quite alright. I'll maybe clean it up later a bit. Like that. And now we actually want... Oh, you know what? Oh, I'm not sure if we can rotate that because it has a rotated element already in it, and Minecraft Java only has one rotation. Yeah, no, we're gonna rotate it in the display. So this is basically a great editor for how your item is displayed later. You can pretty much define everything here. Oops. Come on. And I want to make it a little bit bigger. Minecraft usually has the scale set up to 1.6 for pretty much all its models. I like to use that too. Basically like that. We can copy that over to the other hand. We don't really need the head model. I think the ground model looks good. Frame. Yeah, I mean, let's rotate it by 90 degrees. Put it in the center. GUI. For the GUI, I usually like to... The gun should point exactly to the crosshair. Yeah. It's a shame that we can't configure how the player's actually holding it. I mean, we can place the item in the hand, but we cannot, for example, say hold it like a bow or hold it like whatever, which is a shame because if you have something like a gun, you technically want that the player is aiming or something. But whatever. Whoa. I didn't want that. That looks alright. Copy that over. Alright, now we need a texture for this boy. This is also done really quick. Let me set up GIMP real quick. All right. We want a new file. And we want it to be... Actually, which size do we need? What is our longest part in the model? 7.5. No, 4.5. That means 9. Yeah, okay. Our longest part is 9 units long. Okay, so actually, let me see if I can show you both at the same time. Maybe put this here, put block bench on top, and make this smaller, like here or something. Yeah, looks good. Okay. So we basically need to measure each and every unit, and how many pixels we need for the sprite to have. So this, for example, is divided by 5. This is 9 pixel units and 2 in the Y size. So we're just gonna mark the area first. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And we have like another 1 block unit pipe below it. And then we have the ammunition chamber, which is 4 in size and 2 in its height. Four and yeah, only 2. No, wait. No. It's 8. It's 8 and 4. Or is it? No, it was correct. It's yeah, okay. I actually thought this one would be bigger. It might be hard to texture at this size, but we will try. We will try. Basically, what we need here is first I'm applying a little bit of structure to the texture. So what I often tend to do is I just start in mixing a few pixels of a darker color in here. And after that, I use the smudge tool to kind of give it this little structure here. That's a great way to randomize the pixels a little bit. And for the ammunition chamber, actually I hoped it would be at least 3 in size. It didn't really care while modeling. No. Yeah, I can create a texture inside of Blockbench. I never really do that. I wonder why, actually. Should we just try that? Create texture. Don't know why I actually don't never done that. Yeah, okay. But I need to like right now it's coloring like for 1 unit it's setting 1 pixel, but I want it actually for 0.5. Not sure if I can configure that here. Probably can, but I've never actually used this editor here, which is a shame. Blend mode, softness. Nope. I have actually no idea. No, I'm just gonna make that in game, honestly. we have 4 here. But you know what? Let us import our texture already, because it's much quicker done if we already apply the regions to it, I think. So I'm just gonna save that already, even if it looks like complete garbage, but even garbage can be beautiful at times. At least I hope so. Recently used. You know what I really hate? Programs which have their own file explorer, because I have no idea why you would want to do that, and they always lack some features. Like I take way longer to actually find my files because I cannot traverse it like the default Windows File Explorer. I just don't get why anyone would do that. Create folder, community, gun.png. And now I'll make that bigger. And I'm simply gonna import this texture now. No, this is not how the video is called, Blazerboy. I'm not actually sure if I'll make a video about it. I'll maybe make a like summary video of this which explains how to do a custom item. I could see me doing that. Like a bit faster pace than actually this. Import texture. So what we want is this. UV face. Might need to rotate this. No, I probably need to not mirror X. Oh god. Yeah, rotating was right. Like this. No, but actually mirror Y. Because I wanted to... Yeah, I mean, it looks alright. Probably. I guess. I mean, you can kind of see what it's supposed to be. That's a win in my book. Yeah, looks good. It's kind of hard to see at first. Apply this here too. Apply this here too. Modeling is sometimes tedious. This is also why I put that part at the end of the stream. because it can be boring to watch, I suppose. But I hope it's alright. Let's go vertical like that. Or here we can just use a single pixel. That part, first off, its size is wrong again. At least in which axis? This one. This axis needs to be like this. And we need... Let me actually just put... What have you made so far? I can show you actually. I've basically made a simple gun which can shoot like this. And it hurts mobs. You can pretty much shoot this pig, even if it's innocent. It doesn't matter at this point. And we're simply going to create a model right now for it. Basically, I explained everything that I did here. This is because it took so long, because I really explained every step. So you can pretty much... The stream is so laggy now. Is it? Like, if I fly really fast, is the stream laggy? I mean, Joris, I mean, your PC is like a beast. I'm not sure if we should measure it at your PC. But yeah. Actually, we can just use this pile of gray pixels for the whole model. But in that case, like if I would do a pretty texture here for this thing, I'd probably add highlights and stuff, and then you would probably see that the whole texture is repeated and stuff. So this is why I probably put GIMP here on top. And it's still not correct. What the fuck? No, it was. It was just a position. Anyways, put that here. 3.5. So that means 7 pixels. And not so big. Nice brown color here, for example. Actually, I need to add an 8th one, because the handle on the other side is a little bit bigger. Okay. Now Now I want to add some light pixels here. This and then. Nope. I mean, you can kind of see that there was a line before, but I think I kind of even like that. Good thing about this is that Blockbench updates automatically, so I can directly use this here. You can see all the pixels are nicely aligned here. This is basically because Is it transparent? Is it transparent? No way. Anyways, we can change that later. First, let us model this thing. Huh? Oh. Oh no. Yeah, sorry for being so quiet right now, but sometimes it needs a little bit of concentration here. I did rescale the worst again. Okay, now we pretty much have the handle. Now we have the handle. And it's transparent. Make a Happy Meal. Yeah. Yeah. Do you know, Joris, how you can paint the model in Blockbench so that you automatically can define your unit size? Because if I paint this here, well, now it actually works. Okay, now because well, probably I need to configure the UV map here first. That was probably the issue I had before. Anyways, never mind. But yeah, I'll just quickly finish the model now. I'll prettify it later if I ever release it. I'm not even sure if I will. But just to have a finished model here, I'll just copy paste the faces. Why is it suddenly transparent though? Did I mess with the... Oh yeah, I did. Interesting. Oh, that wasn't even... That isn't even a whole unit. That is 4 in size. Okay, paste this face all over again. as mentioned, I'll pretty-file the whole thing later. Just feel like I have spent enough time with the modeling right now. That needs to be rotated. And that seems to need to be rotated too. Okay, for that, we definitely need something on the texture. Let's actually make something like that. Oops, didn't save here. What I definitely do, but I won't do now because it will take even more time, is actually make this pipe here whole so that it really goes into the model and not it's just a flat like layer here. That doesn't look too great in my opinion. Something like that. Yeah. Jeez, I was really lazy here. Anyways, we can work with that. Now give me this face, put it there, put it there, put this face there, and there. Yeah, I mean, looks okay. Definitely needs more highlights, definitely needs more, pretty much a little bit of everything, but it's okay. We're gonna save that. Community. Gun.json. Okay. In that case, we can implement the model into Minecraft. What we need for that is pretty simple. I think I've prepared the code editor for that. Let me take a look. All right, here we are. this is the current resource pack, which is already enabled. And it simply has the item warp fungus on the stick in the model folder, as you can see here. So basically, this is just how the normal warp fungus on a stick model looks like. It is defined by parent. This is simply how the model looks in the hand and everything. And here is the texture it's going to use. What we want to do is we want to make an override for a custom model data. And to do this, let's see if I can remember it from my head, because normally I just copy paste it over from my other data packs. I think it's predicates. Custom model data. And now you basically need an idea for your model. You could just use one, or I don't know, 2, 3, 4. But what you really want to do is to make it compatible with other data packs. You want to come up with some random unique number. For example, 3, I don't know, 3210. No, we're not going to take that one. Yeah. I mean, you don't really need to remember it. We're just looking at it like, I don't know, maybe 1,000 times a day. But whatever. I think that's the predicate. And now you need to do model. Jesus Christ. Model and your model path. So community dash gun. I hope that's correct, I guess. Let me see. So F3 plus T to reload the textures. And now let's give ourselves a warp fungus on a stick with the custom model data. Give AP warped fungus on a stick. First, we defined this to be our key to use for the functionality of the item. Now we're going to do custom model data 320100. And boom, there it is. Now we have a gun with a custom model and a custom functionality. And for how long are we streaming? All right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end it with that. We finished our gun. In the next stream, we might make a grappling hook or something. And you could definitely add much more to this item. Like you could add ammunition, for example. Would definitely make sense unless you really want an OP item. Or I don't know, you can also add a little display here in the hotbar, how much ammo you have left, or you might even want to make it very expensive to make ammunition, but very strong in damage, because I mean it's a gun. It's probably a one-hit kill, I'd say. But yeah. We're going to take a look at those things at a later stream, I guess. Thank you all for being here. I really enjoyed it, even though I had many technical issues, and I gotta say that, I don't know, I was really nervous the whole stream over. But I think it was quite well. 5-shot the Wither. Yeah, maybe not that one. Anyways, See you all in the next video or the next stream or whatever comes next. Bye!